Hello, hockey, basketball, and soccer fans. My name is David. Thought I would start this video a bit after 6:30 on the morning of the Tuesday 23rd of July 2025, North American Eastern Daylight Time. So that's a bit after 10:30 in the morning GMT. So I'd hoped to cram into a short video about goalie tandems with respect to Canadian NHL teams. What I'm going to do is So it has to do with my response to a video from Mike Bartner, a fan of the New York Islanders. So, in terms of Canadian goalie tandems, I've given each of them a star rating. I say more in the description. I mentioned the star ratings I've given in the description. So I'm going to go from west to east. We'll focus on the Canadian teams because this is what this YouTube channel is mainly about. Canadian sports teams. So what I'm going to do is info on various teams on Puckpedia, and from there, and also on goalie times last season, also available on ESPN. So, going to start off with the Canucks. So, last season, the Canucks mostly went with Kevin Lankinen, with Thatcher Demko and Arthur Shilovs, having split, for the most part, with the backup duties. Kia Tolopilo played in 2 games, one of which he started. So, question marks are galore. Yes, the Canucks, let me just go there. Yes, the Canucks have 5 goalies in their contract via the minors or major junior team. Alexei Medvedev via the London Knights. The others via minor league affiliates. So, like having all the goalies, yes, Canucks have traded Arthur Shilovs earlier this offseason. But again, question marks remain about the health of Thatcher Demko. Though, if Demko is healthy, then yes, it's quite possible these Canucks will see playoff action and may actually win a playoff series or 2. But yes, goaltending on its own is not going to be enough. I mean, just ask Winnipeg Jets and Connor Hellebuck, who's won the Vezina, or at least been nominated for the Vezina multiple times over his career. There's a big reason why Hellebuck is sometimes nicknamed Vezina Buck. I'll get to the Winnipeg Jets later on, but first, yeah, the Canucks. Demko's health, a huge question mark. And because last regular season, let's take a look at the Canucks. Just gonna go to where did we go here? Just gonna go. So I'm gonna go to the Canucks. Yeah. Kevin Lankinen played in 51 games. So that meant there was a significant number of games that other goalies had needed to play. And yeah, Lankinen was a reason the Canucks ended up getting as close to the playoff line as they did. They just didn't quite get in. So there's still questions. The Calgary Flames, I'm going to go to last season. Dan Vidar played in 30 games, but he's no longer with them, having signed via free agency earlier this month a multi-season deal. I believe it's a 2-season deal with Philadelphia Flyers. So no more Vidar, but Dustin Wolf is still there. So who knows? Puckpedia shows Devin Cooley on the NHL roster, but who really knows if there's going to be one? How many goalies the Flames will have? I mean, how many games? How many regular season games any of those goalies not named Dustin Wolf will start? Because to play 60 or more regular season games, maybe pushing things a little too much. Just ask Thatcher Demko how that went. So yeah, Flames, I give 5 stars out of 10. And when it comes to the Oilers, I know Mike Bartner claimed that the Oilers' goaltending had been bad. Well, Strictly on save percentage, if it's below 90.0, I would agree. But let's not forget the context as well. The team the Oilers have in the regular season and the postseason. Yes, there's no doubt the Oilers' goaltending is streaky. But it's no accident the Oilers got as far as they did. They had depth scoring and all that. I mean, reasonably good defense and all. But still, serious questions remain. So I'd say the Oilers' goaltending tandem, 6 stars out of 10. Winnipeg Jets, and yes, to have last season in regular season play went with Connor Hellebuck and Eric Comrie. So Hellebuck got the lion's share of the minutes. I believe Hellebuck played in at least 60 regular season games. But yeah, it was kind of a mixed bag. In the regular season, no doubt in the world, Winnipeg Jets, figuratively speaking, were on fire. Ended up winning the President's Trophy, but in the postseason, things didn't have such a great end. Yes, the Winnipeg Jets finally managed to win. Finally managed to, well, in game 2, I believe it was, allow under this many goals in a home game in postseason. But that was since a 5-1 win, or I forget when it was the last time the Jets allowed fewer than 3 goals in a home game. But wait a minute, was that 2021? Maybe in that series against the Edmonton Oilers. But in terms of any game away or at home, it was 5-1 win over the Golden Knights at T-Mobile Arena. That was game 1 of that 2023 conference quarterfinal. So yeah, it was like 2-1 win over the St. Louis Blues. I forget it was an overtime regulation, whatever. That was game 2 of that 2025 conference quarterfinal. In the conference semifinal, the Winnipeg Jets ended up in an away game allowing fewer than 3 goals in the very last one. It was an away game. 2-1 single overtime, lost to the Dallas Stars. So Hellebuck did stand on his head. Yes, he didn't quite steal that game, but he played so good. I mean, maybe the Jets have truly turned a corner in postseason away games, but hard to know. So that's why I give 8.5 stars out of 10 to the Winnipeg Jets in terms of their goaltending tandem. So now to go to the Leafs. And there's no doubt Anthony Stolarz was a stud last season. And he was clearly the better goalie when he was available. Joe Wall kind of played okay in the regular season, but the postseason, too many ugly goals in too many games. So Joe Wall last postseason allowed no more than this many goals in just this many games. They were both 2-0 decisions. One of them a loss to the Panthers, another a 2-0 win over the Panthers. So when those are the only 2 games you give up fewer than 3 goals, there's a problem. If Wall had won one of those games, it was like a 5-4 OT loss. Just imagine if Joe Wall had allowed a couple fewer ugly goals, it could have been very different. Yeah. So not a great postseason, if you ask me. So I give, in terms of taking into account regular season and postseason play, I give the Leafs goalie tandem, Stolarz Wall tandem, 8 stars out of 10. Now to go with the Ottawa Senators, and it's going to be very interesting with goalie Anton Forsberg no longer with the team, with Forsberg having signed a contract with the LA Kings. So when it comes to goalies under contract to the Ottawa Senators, so yeah, Leo Solmark definitely played 44 games. Maybe he'll play a few more, but it's hard to know. And that means competent backup goaltending matters. And last regular season, overall, it was kind of a mixed bag. I mean, Anton Forsberg played some games. 90.1 save percentage, 92.5 save percentage for Levi Merilainen, who played in 12 games. But Matt Shogard played in 2, and he was a sieve in each of them. So, in terms of the Ottawa Senators goalie tandem, if Levi Merilainen is the main one, it's not gonna be easy. It's a question of whether Merilainen will have the stamina to play in 20 or 30 regular season games. And if that doesn't happen, then who knows? Well, look at the Ottawa Senators goaltending tandem. You have those. You have Omar and Merilainen, the two main ones. In terms of goalies under contract to the same team, but via minor league affiliates. There's Shogard, who I mentioned before, and his last season of a contract, not exempt from waivers. Who knows if he'll take that next step forward? I'm not going to bet on it too much. So many video clips, so many goals he's allowed that have been ugly. So I'm not confident. And there are a couple of others. Jackson Parsons, he's on entry-level contract. Just going to look it up here. Yeah, he's undrafted. So yeah, it's entry-level contract, and I don't know. He was turning 21 this November. So I'm not sure if he's going to be playing in the American Hockey League or he's still playing in the Canadian Hockey League. But there's no doubt that he's new, so who knows if he'll be NHL ready. I'm not going to bet on that too much. Then there's Hunter Shepard, who's while Jack Parsons is 20 years old, Hunter Shepard is 29. So signed for a sub $1 million per season cap hit. Contract valid to next June. So he was wow. And in terms of the NHL, it's been very limited and limited in sample size and in regular season play. Well, he's not played an NHL playoff game, but in regular season play, yeah, save percentage of below 90.0. In his recent season, he played one game and it was well below. So 5 games, the NHL level. All of them, at least not preseason ones, they're all regular season ones. So he played for the Washington Capitals under contract then. So we go to his original contract, which he signed in July 2021 for the with the Washington Capitals. He was not drafted. He lasted 2 seasons. After which he became eligible. He would become eligible to become an unrestricted free agent. And just a couple days after his original contract, which I kind of equate to an entry-level contract, even though it technically wasn't, he signed another 2-season contract with the Washington Capitals. It's a 2-way contract with a much higher salary in the minor. If you were a minor leaguer, from $90,000 to over $300,000 for a minor leaguer. But again, still kind of the same cap hit, a little bit higher, $25,000 more for some cap hit compared to his original contract. And that's it. Signed with the Ottawa Senators a couple days after his last contract with the Washington Capitals had expired. So yeah, it's a very interesting one here. So yeah, I've got some serious question marks with the Ottawa Senators goaltending. Yeah, Linus Ullmark. But the question is, who's going to be the backup? With the Canucks, I mean, there are questions about Thatcher Demko's health, but if Demko is good to go, I don't think there's a question that he can be that competent backup. Or maybe even play in more regular season games than Lankinen. On the other hand, you have the Oilers, it's going to be Stuart Skinner the main, Calvin Pickard the main backup. For the Leafs, it's Anthony Stolarz, Joe Wall. Wall the backup, Stolarz the main. With the Habs, it's Sam Montemore the main one, and last regular season, Jakub Dobeš ended up being the main backup. Still be determined if the Habs are going to go with Dobeš or Kaapo Kähkönen, but in the end, the Ottawa Senators, there are too many question marks. So all I got to do is, I give the Sens, in terms of their goaltending, 5 stars out of 10. They may have plenty of goalies, but who knows how good any of them are, save maybe for Linus Ullmark. Will Levi Merlion take that next step forward? Who knows? And if Merlion doesn't, who do they go with? Matt Sjogard? Oh, a sieve. So I'm not very confident. Now I'm going to go with the Habs. And yes, it's hard to know if Dobeš will continue his great regular season play overall, or if Kähkönen will become the Habs' main backup. It's also important to note that just going to go the Montreal Canadiens here. So I'm going to go with the Habs, and I know that the Habs have, they have Carey Price and LTR. So I'm going to do in terms of, so Kaapo Kähkönen, the Habs have signed to a 1-season contract. So who knows? I'll have to see what happens, but he's been in and out of the NHL, and with the Winnipeg Jets, and it's bounced around the AHL and NHL, whatever. So, with that now, I'm going to say, if you liked the video, please consider liking and subscribing for more content about Canadian ice hockey, basketball, and soccer teams. On that note, I'm going to say, go Scepters go Toronto FC go Raptors go, and go Raps 95 go.